There comes a moment in the journey when it all falls into place. Not because we planned it, but because love had an ulterior motive all along we were being prepared to see. This is that moment for me. I'm Giselle Gamby, coach, mentor, and podcaster, and this is the Intuitive Pull Podcast Season 6. This season is for the ambassadors, the evolutionary leaders, the ones who dare to go first, the ones whose mission it is to lead from the consciousness of love and break the sound barrier of what is possible. This is for those who know they are part of something greater, and for those who never thought they were. My intention is that Season 6 will change your life, that it will activate your mission and liberate you to lead from the abundance of your wisdom and be in your full-bodied self-expression no matter what, because love is the ultimate mastermind. Hello, Intuitive Pull community. In this episode, I am not choosing to speak to your thinking mind. My intention is that I am going to speak to a part of you deep inside, a part of you that knows already, a part of you that knows even before you understand, a part of you that chooses even before you know, a part of you that does not need any explanation, a part of you that does not need the mind to be appeased and settled with certainty. Today, my intention is to speak to a part of you that knows deep within you, where your intuition recognizes the frequency of what I'm saying, even beyond the words, where your heart says, finally, I'm being recognized. And where your soul is doing a happy dance because this is the purpose of your life, for your soul to express itself in this way. I know that the space that I am now holding is a space where I am, I guess, midwifing quantum identity shifts, where we are becoming, where we are in the manifestation of our becoming, where we are growing into the version of ourselves that now has the capacity to lead particular conversations based on all of the wisdom that we have gained. Who we were is not who we are to become. It is an essential part of the process of the journey. And we have been building our capacity to be able to hold our leadership in the way that it wishes to be held now. We have been growing our capacity. And part of growing that capacity has been in the untangling and in the unraveling and in bringing completion to what has been unresolved. That was a massive part of the conversation towards the end of last year on this podcast. And when we bring completion to what's been unresolved, we then have space to receive, we have space to become, we have space to follow the calling, to even hear the calling in the first place. And when we hear the calling, we have space to feel all the feelings that goes with that. Because when the calling arrives, there is a vulnerability that also arrives. There's butterflies and there's breathlessness and there's equal amounts of excitement and fear that arrives in our human body when the calling arrives, because space has allowed for that calling to arrive. The calling cannot come when there is unresolved dynamics that sit underneath the surface the calling can't arrive because it's already filled. It's filled with resistance, but the calling arrives. Grace brings the calling. Grace has you hear the calling because it trusts you, because you've had the courage and the bravery to face into all that has been unresolved. And so this is the space that I am now holding. I know that I'm here holding people who are ready to experience who they are to become. As I have been experiencing this myself, as I have been experiencing the unraveling and the untangling and the bringing to completion all has been unresolved, as I have been stepping into superpowers that I was afraid of, that I didn't even know I had, then space arrived for the calling to be made available to. So I'm about to play you a download that I received, and it is absolutely a calling. And I'm going to play that download that I received and I put to music and I put to visuals a couple of months ago. And I'm going to allow that transmission not to speak to your mind, not to speak to your mind that wants to know how. I'm going to play that transmission with the intention that it goes way beyond the mind and right and pierces into your heart, pierces into the power in your belly, pierces into the vision that wants to see, pierces into the capacity to express, that pierces into faith, and that pierces into a knowing that you have the capacity to hold this. And if you think that you don't have the capacity to hold this, it is because of that you do. So enjoy this calling. Let it move mountains. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Bring me the impenetrable, the immovable, the unshakable. Bring me what you've been unable to break through. The trauma, the failure, the shame, the glass ceilings. Bring me the confusion and resistance, the fears and anxieties. And let us transform this together, once and for all. Bring me your pain and your sorrows, the worries you've kept secret, the unthinkable and even the unforgivable. Bring me what you've kept hidden and small, what you've ignored, denied, pushed down, hoping that one day things will change, one day in the future. But the future's not now, because now is when the future is born. To say you don't know how, but to say yes regardless. To getting on your knees, to stop resisting and trying to do it on your own. To say yes to asking for help from a place of self-trust. And because the bottom line is that you love yourself. Bring me the impenetrable, the immovable, the unshakable. Bring me what you've been unable to break through, and let us transform this together once and for all. This is a time of liberation, and the time for hiding and hibernating is over. Bring completion to what's unresolved. Self-sabotaging patterns completed. Making yourself less to avoid pain completed. Who you were and what you led in the past is not who you are now. But have you caught up with the you who is here today? Because this is a time of liberation, a time to lead from your superpowers, to experience profound success from the abundance of your wisdom, to stand tall in your mission in full-bodied self-expression, faith, love, and power. amplifying your influence, amplifying your impact, because there's been an ulterior motive playing all along to show you dreams you never knew you had, because love has bigger plans than the ones you ever made for yourself. This message is for the ambassadors, the evolutionary leaders, the ones who dare to go first. It's your time again to rise above the voice of tolerance that says, this is just the way it is. To rise above the voice of resignation that says, no, I just can't. To rise above the voice of incapacity that says, I don't have what it takes. And to rise above the voice of unworthiness that says, who do I think I am? Maybe you've travelled the road of purpose and power and you've shortchanged yourself. Or maybe you haven't met the ambassador within due to the roles and responsibilities you play. Or maybe you're hiding, unsure, tempering your dreams with, am I out of my mind? Yes, the ambassadors, the evolutionary leaders, the ones who dare to go first are out of their mind. They're out of a mind that holds the inner architecture of fear-based consciousness, and instead allow the consciousness of love to lead the way. This field of intelligence that organizes, harmonizes, and holds all of life unconditionally, to have us remember that in our essence we are not flawed, that we do not need to be fixed, and that who we are inherently is whole, perfect, complete, lovable, valuable, powerful, infinite, and eternal. The intelligence of love is the source code behind creation, evolution, and all authentic transformation. The ambassadors, the evolutionary leaders, the ones who dare to go first, are here to break the sound barrier of what is possible, to disrupt fear-based beliefs and assumptions about what is possible and real in the world, to say, no, I won't accept that, when others say, based on statistics and past experience, this is what you can expect, to complete karma and generational cycles and patterns, and bring freedom not only to themselves, but to those past, present, and future. They hold the impenetrable, the unbreakable, the unshakable, and even the unforgivable. Because in this field of love, leadership becomes devotion. Healing becomes remembrance. Purpose becomes inevitable. And power is reclaimed not through dominance, but by returning home to the transformative power of love. Love is the medicine. Love is the path. Love is the transformation that breaks the sound barrier of what is possible. And if you think you are not an ambassador, an evolutionary leader, the one who goes first, I dare to challenge you. Because the ones who change the world are rarely the ones who claim the title up front. They are the ones who quietly hold the light when others forget, who ask different questions, who feel the ache of something more even if they can't name it. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to know how or even what or why. You just have to be willing. Because the truest leaders are the ones who never thought they were. And maybe this is the moment when everything finally falls into place. I hope that transmission absolutely did its job on you. I hope it was as powerful and as fierce as my intention. I am running a free masterclass on Thursday, the 12th of June at 11 o'clock for 90 minutes. Sydney time. The Calling. The Calling version 3.0. I have already run version 1 to 18 people that I privately invited to. And then I ran version 2 a few weeks ago to people who signed up to that masterclass. And now there is version 3 here to be shared. There's a link in the show notes for you to register for that masterclass. But be warned, the intention of this masterclass is that you will surrender into the calling, even if you do not know what it is, and that is the point. We say yes before we know. We move before we have any certainty. That is the only way that we can follow the calling. And that is the only way that we even know that it is a calling, because a calling is beyond our personality. It is beyond our identity. And that is why we take leaps of faith when the calling arrives, because it invites us to stretch beyond who we have known ourselves to be. So please register for that masterclass. Let your family and friends know about that masterclass and be warned. And of course, if you feel ready to jump into a conversation with me for one-on-one coaching support, or indeed coming into the most beautiful group council of wise women in my best year yet, just send me a message. Thank you.